Right, hello guys, hello operator. Um, Welcome to Tuesday night. We're back after a week off because of Valentine's Day last week. Oh god, who cares about that in a way? Should have just raced. But in a way, yeah, we're back for WAOF1. We're here for round 5 of the season. Yeah, I know, right? That's all it is, round 5. Um, but we are at Imola for the usual full qualifying 50% race. Um, Now, as per usual, I am going to start by inviting one of the drivers in, somebody we've not spoke to yet. So I'm going to get James in. So here he comes. Hopefully, if he's paying attention. And here he comes. Excellent news. And then I just need to go in. Right, James, I've just done it. So you just need to include your audio, mate.
Yep, that's tick, mate.
Ah, brilliant job. Excellent. Right, well, welcome. How are you?
Hello. Good. Yeah, surprisingly good, to be honest with you. It's nearly middle of the week, isn't it? Getting
It
through.
is.
Tuesday's my favourite day, obviously.
Oh, obviously, yeah, yeah. Why? It's already Friday.
Nah, Tuesday for racing.
Oh, I
Best
see.
league.
Because of WF1. Oh, I see. That's good. That's good. Well, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, the news is I like that. Um, right, so let's get the serious stuff out of the way first. So, um,
Yes, mate.
tonight is Imola. So, what's your thoughts on Imola? Is this a nice track for you?
So I've not actually done a full race around Imola, to be honest. I've done a little bit of a practice session last night. It's a bit skiddy, to be honest. I
Yeah,
put the hards on and it was a bit odd. I don't really know what strategy to go with, but I'll just sort of wing it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, really, it's a
But
one
it's a nice
stop.
track,
If you know, unless
and
there's
Mineral is
safety
good.
cars, you need to be one stop in there. So there you are,
100%,
little
100%.
little hint.
Yeah,
The pit
little
lane's
little hilly tip.
slow. Yeah, the pit lane's slow, so you just can't two stop. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
takes too long. Um, right, okay. Well, it's the fifth round of the season, so you know we're not miles into the
Hmm.
season yet, but it's starting to get a little bit more serious, I guess. If
Yep.
you like. I'm just having a look at the standings, and if you give me a minute, I've got to
Where am
scroll
I?
quite far down to find you. So
Hey.
just bear with me. Um, I actually can't see you.
You
Did he
will.
actually put you on the standings? Oh yeah,
Alright.
actually you're 10th. You're not doing too
I'm
bad.
10th. I'll take a 10th. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that ain't too bad. You got 45 points.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so you got
Me and Junkie are close as well. Well,
yeah,
Asplays.
you are, and yeah, I think you've scored. Have you scored every round?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I've
Well, you
scored every
have
round.
because we've
I've
got a
had a couple
different
of
point scoring
lower
system, haven't we?
positions.
So yeah, but yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
doing well, man. That's a good start to the season, I think. And is that the
Hmm.
sort of position where you're expecting to be?
I would say so, mate. I aim to get to Q3 sort of every time. It hasn't happened a couple of times due to me bottling it, as you've seen on stream many times. I would say 10th is about right, to be honest with you, depending on who's racing and obviously the track as well. I think I finished 7th in Bahrain
Yeah,
due to a sort of safety car and that, but sort of 10th and upwards is where I'm aiming for, realistically.
ideal. So
Um,
top 10,
yeah,
but around P10 is pretty good. So yeah, that's all
yeah,
good. Um,
it's
okie
consistent
doke,
points, isn't
and
it? So,
yeah, that's the thing. If you pick up consistent points, you will be top 10 come the end of the season.
hmm.
So, right, and on to the constructors. You're a Haas driver, so you're currently sitting P6, but
Hmm.
the battle going for P4 at the moment is unbelievably close. So from P4 down to P10, you're
Yes,
currently covered by 34 points, which with the point system we're using
yeah,
this season is nothing really. Um, the top three are a little bit sort of off on their own a little bit, but they could, yeah, it wouldn't take long to catch them. And to be fair, if they had a couple of
hmm,
bad weekends, so it's all to play for
yeah,
really. Who's your teammate?
yeah. Junkie. Junkie Emperor.
Junkie. So yeah, you've got a good consistent
Yeah.
driver in Junkie as well. So yeah,
Mhm.
I think you guys
Mhm.
will do well. I think you should be looking for top five really.
Fingers
Um,
crossed.
yeah, excellent. All right, so look, that's the serious, boring stuff out of the way. Let's get on to the more
What about my
fun
rival?
stuff.
Huh?
Oh, all right, yeah, okay, yeah, you wanted to do this bit, so yeah, who do you want to pick
I
then
wanted
as
to
your
pick a
rival?
rival.
Yeah, who's your rival for the season?
It is Baz the Ninja.
Baz the Ninja, and he's not already been
Yeah,
picked. Have you double checked?
I have checked. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
excellent
not been
news.
picked. Baz.
Brilliant. So yeah, there you go then. So Mr. Well, Mr. Oozers,
There you go.
that's our next choice. So, and I think that's a fair one. I think the two of you can compete pretty well with each other. So
Yeah, I
that
think
should
if
be a
we
good
both
one.
have clean races, we're thereabouts. So.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just a little bit aware of the time,
That was
so
silly stuff. Yeah.
I don't want you to miss too much of Q1. So let's just move on.
Let's
So
do it.
a new feature for WAOF1 this week. I'm going to ask you some quick fire questions.
Oh Christ.
Okay. So I've got a list
Okay.
here of quick fire questions. I'm just going to go one after the other, and you obviously
Yeah.
answer the first thing that comes into your head, pretty much.
Yep.
Okay. So as I say, there's a little list. So we'll start at the top, and there is some F1 ones that are sort of thrown in the middle as well. So,
Okay.
okay. So let's start with an easy one then. So, what's your favourite colour?
Red.
Favourite food?
Lasagna.
Animal?
Cat.
Formula One team?
Ferrari.
Drink?
Uh,
Right. Singer or band?
oh Christ. Oasis.
Football team?
Man United.
Formula One track?
France.
Cool. TV show?
Oh Christ. Friends.
Cool. Your favourite Doctor Who?
Got to be Tennant.
Cool. And your favourite Formula One driver, past or present?
Past the president has got to be the great Michael Schumacher, of course.
Of course. And the big question to finish off, who is your favourite WAOF1 admin?
Obviously, Hilly.
Yes, that's the right answer.
Do I get bonus points for that?
You
or...
do, yeah. That's +1 championship point for you. Well done.
Good man.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Right now, of course, we've come to the big question. This is what everybody tunes in for. So, I always fire a random question at people, and it's one of these which is, if you were a something, what would you be and why? So, your one is
Okay.
if you were a pancake topping, what would
You know, the old lemon squirty lemon juice on there just because I'm a bit zesty. There you go.
Oh, yeah, see? I like it. There you go. Brilliant. Well done. I had to do that one. It's Pancake Day. I had to do
That's
that.
good, man. It is Pancake Day. Huh? Tuesday.
Yeah, I've been bullied a little bit in the Discord.
Even though you don't
because
like
I've told them I don't like pancakes. So, yeah. Like,
That's fair.
weird.
You're allowed your opinion, but
I think
so.
so. Definitely. Okay, mate, we're 3 minutes past. They're all ready and up, and I don't want to take away
Absolutely.
from your
We'll
qualifying. So get yourself in, and best of luck.
No worries, mate.
And
Thank you very much. Been a pleasure.
maybe with a bit of luck, I might be speaking to you on the podium interviews at the end. You never know.
Fingers crossed, mate. You never know. You never know.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, Eddie.
All right, mate. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, there we go, guys. So that was James. And I forgot to tell him to sit down. Oh well. I'll sit down. Right, so we're just going into qualifying. I'd say it's full qualifying, 50% race. It's full grid. So let's. I just got the chat up as well. Love that, James. No, Matthew, I saw the wheel thing. Yeah, I mean, Wales got it slightly slanted, I think, so that it landed on Meat Burrell. I think because Meat Burrell, I'm pretty sure he's Wales' favourite. Um, John, this league is WAOF1. Always looking for more drivers, but we are very full of reserves at the moment. Um, I think how many reserves were actually on the wheel that was spun earlier on? It's about 9, wasn't it? Just for one seat. So it is very full, but I could talk to you about all that stuff. Um, Hilly is admin. Hang on, why can't I see that? Yeah, so I can send you a link, John. Daguna will do, mate. Thanks, Daguna. Yeah. Let's go, says, well, hard to not like Meatball. Of course it is. Meatball is pretty good. Thank you, Wallace. You legend. Need you on track, but, well, how dare everybody show up? It's because we had a week off, look, everybody's desperate to get into it, so everybody showed up. Oh, sorry, by one, of course, we did get one reserve in. So Meat Burl, yeah, is the only reserve on track tonight, unfortunately. Hey, Taylor, good luck tonight, buddy. And thanks to all of you out there who's joined already. As we go on to qualifying then. Nobody's mentioned anything about weather so far, which probably means we're in for a dry qualifying race. But Imola is known for a bit of rain, so I'm not too surprised to see a bit. I'm just going to take my phone off for the Wi-Fi a second, just to help with the stream. Yeah, so in terms of a track, Imola, what can we say about it? It's very easy to spin here. So I do expect to see a few spins. And yeah, Wallace, I know you're a reserve, buddy. That's what I mean. Oh, hang on. Sorry, you're on track, Wallace. Oh, I only thought there was one reserve seat. Sorry, I didn't even notice that. I thought Meatball was the only reserve tonight, so something's obviously happened that I didn't see before jumping in, turning on quali. Oh, well, that's great news. You're on track. Well done, buddy. And good luck to you. Junkie on the lap first. Yeah, so as I was saying, it is very easy place to spin around here. There's plenty of curves that are going to spin you if you touch them. There's this corner coming up, which is a sort of double right-hander that's yeah, and you've got to use a bit of the inside curve really if you want to have the fastest way through it, like you just saw Junkie do there. But at the same point, you don't want to touch the sausage bit that's a bit further in to the curb. That will spin you. But you've got to be careful on exit as well, because it's on an uphill. The exit is low traction. So, I got in last minute. Excellent. Well, good luck, buddy. And you're in a Red Bull. So 1:17.6 from Junkie Emperor gets us underway. There's a Ferrari there going. Oh, he's actually spun round. He's getting back round here, Lego Lamp. Oh no! I thought it was taking him a little bit long, and it has taken him a little bit long, and the game's disqualified him from the session as James crosses the line on a 17.4. Car seat obliterates everything on medium tyres. Does a 16.2. On mediums. Oh, goodness me. Guys, you're in trouble. The rest of you are in trouble. If that's what he's doing on mediums. Goodness me. Solux here is invalidated. Who else we got out there? Gazza's out there. Seems strange for me seeing Gazza in a Ferrari. I'm not used to seeing him in a Ferrari. Say Gazza's name, I think of the papaya of McLaren for some reason. He drove Williams in WAOF1 last night, but last season. He's Ferrari this season, but it's in other leagues that I know him in. tends to end up with a McLaren quite a lot. Very close to an invalidation there, but on both entrance and exits of the final corner. So across the line, 17.9. It's on the mediums, so plenty of time left in that there. We saw 2 mistakes at the end there, let alone ran the rest of the lap. Here's Davey getting on in the McLaren then. He said he was going to run no traction for the first time in a qualifying session tonight. And if it goes well, then he might run it in the race, but see how he gets on. Just coming down towards the final 2 corners. We'll do a hilly hot lap in a minute, so I'm getting a little bit lagging on the screen. I just turned my phone back onto the Wi-Fi. It's disconnecting from the stream. Just want to make sure everything was alright. Right, who we got coming round then? Sol X. Up with it. Okay. Sol X 119.4 went into P9. Whale is on a lap in the other Williams. Then stays to the right as the racing line takes you over to the left at that part of the track, so stays out of the way. Alfa Romeo going off track to get out of the way, I think that's a bit extreme. It's, and across the line goes P3, 117.1 for Mr. Whale. Who was that then? Somebody was... It's all a bit tight, isn't it? It's just coming through the chicane in the final sector as well. It's all a bit tight together. Burrow, Soklovich and operator on outlaps. And Burrow heads to the line. Sorry, I hadn't noticed the invalidation. Corbado Paul is invalidated as well. Moomin, the other McLaren then. He's just into third sector, coming down to the final couple of corners. That's nice line on entry, a little bit wide on exit, but not too bad. Heads to the line, 117.4 goes P6. So let's get to swanboard action in a way. Soklovich early on in his lap, but see how he's doing. I believe Carsey's gone round on mediums, done a 16.2 and retired. That's just... Oh dear, I've lost connection. I'm not actually very shocked that I've just lost connection because I was getting an awful lot of lagging on my screen. So I'll get back in as quickly as I can, guys. But so I'm not actually very shocked that that's just happened, to be honest. Don't know why, but I think I'm struggling a little bit. Thank you, Tagooner. And well... Oh, no. I've just pressed A. Oh, no, it's alright, because we've got a full grid. No, it's alright. It's alright. It's just if you press A and it's not a full grid, it gives you a car. You're supposed to press Y, but because we've got a full grid already, it won't matter. Thank goodness. Right then, so Meat Bros in P2 at the moment, Reed's into P3, he's now in a 16.8. Meat Bros 16.6. Let's come down. Here's Baz. I think he's heading for the line to complete the lap. Much improved by the looks of it as well, yeah, over 2.5 seconds improvement, so up to P11. So if you remember, that was who James named as his rivals. So currently James in P6, Baz in P11. To the pits there. To our reserves. Oh, Wallace's round. I absolutely loved the fact I caught his spin on the stream. He loves to be caught on stream doing stuff like that. Bit of a maverick. Taylor then. The Alpha Tauri. His Meatball retires out. In the pits, so all good. I think the cut off at this point, so remember P16 down we will lose in the first session, and the cut off I think will be probably in the very high 17s, it may be low 18s, but it's going to be somewhere around there I'd imagine. Current P16 time is a 20.0, so it's got a little way to go to get there, but I'm sure it will come the end of the session. But it is one of those tracks similar, it's not easy to put in a really good lap around here. So many different parts of, different corners on the circuit that you have to absolutely nail. Difficult corners. But, you know, think of the first 2 chicanes immediately. That's 2 corners there. If you mess one of those up, it will annihilate your lap time. So, oh, sorry about that. That was my dad. Suddenly coughing. Taylor in a way, 17.7 into P10. Much better from Taylor. He's having another go. Looks like he is. He's well up in sets of 1. Come down to this double right-hander. Very nicely taken. 2 on the mediums, Wallace. I don't think... Oh, and it's pulled him across. No, it's not. My apologies. That is lag on my screen, you see. Why am I lagging so bad on my screen? Right, turn that off, that off. No other devices connected at all. So what did Wallace go up to? P7 on a 117.3. So much better from Wallace. Yeah, as I was saying though, it is an easy track to invalidate here. So Baby then. Just can't see end of set to 2, half a second up. And to the final couple of corners. So these 2 corners together are just as important as the chicanes at the start of the lap. You've got to get them right. There's no... really not much margin for error around Imola. As you can see there, Davy's time improved by just over 4 attempts, but he was half a second up going into the final sector, so he's lost a little bit at the end of the lap there. But that's P19 for Davy at the moment, 119.6. Let's see. Just can't see end of sector 2 now, clearly weaving around, not on a proper lap. It may have been until the right-hander just before there. across. Gaza. So, to a hairpin, and he's a quarter of a second up in sets of 1. I'm just going to leave the hilly hot lap until at least set to Q2, because I like to do it in Q1, but I'm just struggling a bit. So a bit of a lot of lag going on. I think somebody just left the session, but I didn't see who that was to be able to invite them back. Or it's somebody retiring maybe in the pits, I don't know. But anyway, Gaza heads for the line, much improved lap, and a 16.8, 9 tenths improvement, and that puts him into P6, slots him just behind Reed. And he will be safely through on that time. Operator crosses the line. And improves slightly, still P16. So let's not on a lap, no. Users on his way out of the pits. Newman retired, I think he's safe, so no issues there. Taylor saying in the chat he's not happy going to be out in Q1, but it's just about to start a lap. Junkie retires on a 17.4, he feels that's enough to get through. No, I think I agree with him, I think that will be safe. Bit wide on exit through the first chicane. It wasn't too bad as the Alfa Romeo remains well out of the way. And 3 tenths up in set to 1 is a very nice start to the lap. Left hand there leading down to the double rights. There we have it, so nicely done, well up now in set to 2, 3/4 of a second. He is heading to be the next man into the 16s. To admit, I was doing a bit of realistic practice before joining the lobby, because I've got a realistic race here tomorrow night in the Williams, and I was really disappointed that the best I was managing was the 17.3, but I think these times it's probably about right. 16.7 from Taylor in a way. P5. So I don't think there's any risk of Taylor being out now. That means now that Solex is P16 and he's 18.2, so we said a high 17 to low 18 as well. That's what I said for the cutoff, so we're kind of right. It looks, unfortunately, Solex, it will be one of the ones we lose, and Operator as well. The time is up, so unfortunately I think the guys in the drop zone now are going to be the guys that we lose. So sad for Solex, Operator, Soklovic, Davey and Legolam, who didn't even get a chance to put in a lap because the game disqualified him driving the wrong way when he was trying to spin back round after having spun. It's just one of the silly little things in the game, unfortunately it does that. But it's a big congratulations to Oozers, who's through to Q2. Well, in fact, Oozers just crossed the line and went up to P13. And look at a man who's in P15, and who could have been in trouble if one of these guys put a lap in. He isn't, and he will progress. that was maybe a bit closer than expected for him as I get kicked again. At least it's at the end of a session. Not massively shocked, as I said. What is going on with my internet? Oh, it just looks outside. The weather is absolutely shocking. I hadn't even realised it was bad. It's absolutely tipping down out there. So that's probably what's causing the problems, to be honest. Yeah, well, you're not far off. Well, actually, the McDonald's Wi-Fi is, and to be fair, McDonald's are probably better than mine. That's the problem with living out in the sticks next to a farm. Unfortunately, you're not on the top of the list of getting good internet. It's, we have had fibre laid here now, but it's not active yet. What am I doing? Sorry, I couldn't even think then. Thank you, operator. And well, and the gooner. I'll get on that now, Wallace. I live on a retirement home. My neighbours are all like 70 and 80 and stuff. Yeah, unlucky operator couldn't get that. And that's what I was saying that with her, mate. It's Imola is tough. It is a struggle to get a lap in at Imola. Right, I'm back in a way. We're at the start of Q2. They've literally just gone into it, guys, so we've not missed anything. Nobody even out on track yet. Moomin says stupid game. I don't know what's wrong with Moomin. Okay, so it looks like Meat Bro is going to be first at the traps, and doing 17.5s last night. Yeah, that's what it is, though, operator. Were you doing that in time trial or actually in a practice qualifying session? So that does make a difference. But yeah, it's just different in a qualifying session, mate. You've got to nail it. You've got to nail a lap. There's only so much time. You've got, even in Q1, really, you're looking at 3 runs at the most, and then there's always the point of, oh, do I really want to use all these tyres? Because if I do get through, I'm going to need them. It's, oh, and an online lobby, so yeah, so it's doing proper practice. It's good. So I'm doing it at the moment, operator. So I'm going through time trial again, but I'm only as I reach a track. Like I'm deleting my old best time trial times and doing it again purely with a race setup. Not I kind of used race setups previously, but I'd always amend them slightly. So the tyre pressures I'd have for time trial, and and I might go extreme on the wings and stuff like that. Whereas in a race, I wouldn't do that. So I've decided the absolute full race setup only, and seeing how close I can get to the old times. And I'm actually doing pretty well, beating a couple of them. So unfortunately, Meat Burrow has invalidated his lap, so we'll move to Taylor, who was second out of track. Operator, I don't know if you can maybe enlighten us a little bit as to whether we might be seeing some rain tonight. I'm wondering, because everybody's been so close together out on track in this session. Oh, as I say that, I'm pretty sure I just saw a raindrop. There's one on the screen. It's beginning to rain. Okay. Evening, Papa. Your lad got on track right at the last minute. He managed to get a reserve seat. Look at the rain. Taylor, you're going to be through, mate, because you're first over the line, so that's the good news. 17.4 from Taylor, James 17.7, Junkie 17.3. Oozers and Baz are still sat in the pits. It's too late for them. They're never going to get through. 16.2 from Carsey, 16.5 racing J. Goodness me. Reed is only on a 19.9. He could be in trouble. Well, this manage. If he goes ahead of Reed, he potentially knocks Reed out. And he does go into P6. So Reed is 11th. DRS disabled. Reed is improving as it stands, but this track is getting wetter and wetter and wetter. Okay, it said wet for all three qualies, so it's been a bit late coming then, but it has come. And it's going to affect us. It's going to affect qualifying. It is now 1.5 seconds up. As Meatborough crosses the line into P11 on an 18.7. Reed looks like he's going to beat that, but I don't think he's going to be able to make the top 10. Unless he made a mistake in sector 3 last time round, it doesn't look like it. Well, he only improved by 6.5 tenths in the end because the rain got too much in the final sector. And for me, guys, I think that's it. I think Call by the Pool, Oozers and Baz are potentially playing for P13 here. And that's it. This track is ready for intermediate tyres. So that is effectively, well, it's effectively the end of Q2, but apart from those three drivers that I mentioned who can battle for P13, but it's the problem with sessions like this, and Reed would absolutely have been up. Well, I'm very, very confident that he would have qualified in the top 3. He probably would have been in the top 2, but yeah, I'm 100% confident he would have qualified top 3 in Q3. But here's the brakes, I guess. That's what happens. One day he didn't react to it. He was out on track, but he just woozers. This round, he's given the engineers a bit of work to do. The track's too wet now for soft tyres. Just might be going into the race with a bit of headache. Yeah, you can see from that, like, he just can't take the corner at all. So, all about Cool and Baz. So, still those positions up for grabs. Kuna's actually put a set of inters on, whether he's going to come out on track or not. Ultimately, it is up to him. It is up to any of the drivers if they want to do any laps. Oh, somebody just teleported to the end of the pits on my screen. I think that was the Gooner, actually. It was round again. Somehow, it's still not retired him out. Right by the pit. Oh, he's gone past the pit lane entry. I hate to tell users, but you're going to have to do another lap. I think that is with no wing as well. Yeah, there's no wing on the front of that car. So no wing, and he's on slick tyres when he should be on inters. Let's start braking about halfway down the straight. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you, users. I'm laughing at the situation. So please, if you watch it back, don't think I'm laughing at you. I'm not at all. Yes, Mr. Well, you got in time, mate. You're P3. And kind of glad for the wet, you know. I'm presuming this will carry on into Q3. It normally does. Might make it interesting. It looked to me, to be honest, with the medium tire time that Carsey did, I think he was going to end up a light year ahead of everyone else. So maybe the wet weather might bring it back a bit closer together. Wizard specialist. Hey McLaren. Wallace. Absolutely, mate. Get on right at the last second. He's a reserve in the league. He didn't have a seat for tonight, and then right at the last moment, one came up for him. Always pleased to see him on track. He retires from the session. Wallace, he's in P6. Obviously, absolutely fine. The top 10 won't change now. So Hoosers into the pits. So, for these boys that may have been caught out a little bit with the rain, or Reed who just didn't manage to get a good first lap on the board, there'll still be opportunities in the race. This isn't a track where the guys that start out at front necessarily win. It could be won by anybody at Imola. Lots and lots of places to spin. So Cool doesn't set a lap time. He decides to retire out and not set a lap time. So literally all losers or Baz need to do is stick on a set of inters, come out, put a time on the board, and you will move into P13. Neither of them at the moment doing that. Pa, 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 pa. Yeah, it is, operator. It's yeah, all good, Mr. Well. I hope you're all right. So, the Gooner out doing a bit of track time. Presumably, this is an indication to us guys watching to probably expect some wet weather in the race as well. Otherwise, why would anybody in the top 10 come out on inters? Otherwise, well, I guess they could be doing a bit of practice for Q3, to be fair, actually. I didn't... Sorry, that something just clicked. I don't know if I'd risk it. Risk it for a biscuit? I don't think it's worth it. Guna retires. Oozers is on an outlap, so he's going to look to take that P13. Baz still sat in the pits, not seeming too bothered at the moment. Still sat in there on soft tyres as well. Yeah, it's the Wallace Fan Club on the Hilly Stream. Let's go back to work after the race, operator. It's like, well, it's going to be like 10 o'clock. Weird. Does he want to join the Wallace Fan Club? Oh, he does. Okay. Disqualified from He was just disqualified from the session. I missed that. Who was that? Oozers! Oozers got disqualified from the session. Oozers. He just gave a position to Baz. Okay, well, we've currently got... I was about to say James, but James has just retired out. We've got Reed and Baz still sat there. If you're not going to come out of the track, guys, just retire, please. And we can move on. Whew. Time for Lynn. Love it. Oh, nice operator. Do you what tomorrow? I can't see what that says. Why can't I get rid of the asterisks? Well, yeah, I'll be there in a way. Yeah, oh, ready. Yeah, I'll be there, Pop. Man, done a bit of practice today. Not much, but done a little bit. Should be all right. I won't be qualifying now. I'll be starting from the back because, well, it's safer. With my recent record of what's going on the Wednesdays, I think I'm going to opt for safer till the end of the season now. See how I get on from there. So, oh, Baz, retire. Oh, there's only a few seconds now, anyway. If you retire with like 2 seconds to go, I'm going to give you a penalty. Actually, well, that's a penalty. Not retiring and not coming out of track. Backing everything up, I say that's a penalty. Yeah, we'll start from the back together. Let me retire out first then, McLaren. You could be a little bit further forward. Like, that's not your fault. They can't do you for that. You could start ahead of me. Just let me do my setup and all that, and then when I retire out, you retire out after. You'll start ahead of me then, I think. I say let's make one now so that it looks like it was there all along. It's just with my recent record, McLaren, I don't fancy getting through the first couple of chicanes without ending up in a wall somewhere. So I'm just going to start from the back and dawdle around and pick up any places from spinners on the first lap. Well, this final session will definitely be wet, Wallace. Hopefully it's dry for the race. So that looks like intermediates weather to me. Let's just put the tyres on. Yeah, it is. So intermediate tyres are going to be the way. So if anybody wants to make any predictions. I think now in the dry, I think Carsey was going to be an absolute shoe-in for pole position tonight, but could be. I still think he's a pretty big favourite. But the wet could throw a spanner in the works. Daguna is first out on track, and I know Daguna likes the wet. Racing J is very good in well, he's just unbelievable in the wet actually. Gaza, I don't think really minds either way, whether it's wet or dry. He's happy both ways. Wallace, I've no idea about whether you like the wet or not. Well, the fact that he would just saying please be dry, I guess not. But yeah, the problem I have with McLaren is in the Williams. I can make Q3 sometimes, but even if I do, I'm never higher than normally maybe ninth or something. That's normally the best I can manage. But um, so, and if I don't quite get into Q3, then I'm like P11. So I'm always stuck in the middle if I actually qualify. So I'm in the place where I'm most likely, and I'm a terrible starter, absolutely terrible off the line. So I think that might be the way forward for me for the rest of this season. So anyway, the Gooners on the first lap. Let's go to the car cams so that we got to get an idea of just how wet it is. It's pretty wet. It's certainly nowhere near full wet tyre weather, but it is pretty wet. Oh, wet, goodness me. Had one of the most infuriating races of my life last night. It's France. Track was drying out. 10 laps to go, the engineer tells me. There's no difference between dry and wet, dries and inters. So I changed to dry tyres. That's 10 laps from the end, and at no point did it dry out before the end. And of course, Wallace won that last night, so well done to him. I gave up. Mr. Gooner, we've got a yellow flag behind us. I think that's at the chicane. I think it might be a Haas at the chicane. So 24.9 from Daguna gets us started. There's a Red Bull on its way. 25.0 from Racing J. Oh, a few crossing the line there. Taylor, 26.2. Carsey, 24.1. Goodness me. And Gaza. Wallace is on an outlap, so yeah, Gaza's next to cross the line. 26.1. So into P5. James, 33.8. He was the one that had the issue at the chicane then. Whale, Hairpin is set to 1. So Whale and Wallace. Whale slightly ahead on track, both on hot laps. Presume that all the others are having cool-down laps now. How many laps they'll do at the start of this session, I'm not sure. They may come in pretty quickly, get ready, so maybe do a longer stint after, maybe. I had a great weekend then, Papa. Yeah, definitely. I'm sad I missed it, mate, but definitely we can do another one. Here comes Whale to the line. 24.6 puts him into P2. Nice start from Whale. Wallace is just coming through the final corner. I'm lagging about all over the place again on my screen. Hopefully we'll get to the end of the session before we disconnect or anything. 26.3 from Wallace puts him in at P9. The moment, but very, very early doors. Things that could make a difference as to whether the track's actually still getting wetter or not. Looks to me at the moment like Carsey's on a lap. Just at the start of a lap, coming up to the end of set to 1 here. And he's, yeah, nearly 4 attempts up in set to 1. Well, that looked to me like it was just tidy. It was just being tidy and careful. Wasn't throwing the car in anywhere, just making the corners, getting good acceleration out of them. Little wobble there on the left-hander. Oh, and that's an invalidation. It's just over the line. So, he's showing us clearly has a lot more time in him yet. And I guess you'd expect all of them to, really, because ooh, junkie off. Goes into the pits. I hope he didn't take a dive off to let the Red Bull through and then see him drive into the pits. That would have been annoying. Gazan on improvement coming for the line and improves by half a second. Goes into P7. Moomin Rider is sat in the pits with softs on. I think that's a bit optimistic, to be honest. Maybe more precautionary than anything else. Yeah, Wallet's on a huge improvement, but he just catches the inside curb on the hairpin. Will have lost him time, but Fatty knows he's got 1.2 seconds just in sets of ones. Gotta feel pretty good. Down to the final corners. I didn't see the split time at the end of sets of 2 there to see how much he was up by, but whatever he does manage to set, we know he's still going to have a bit more in him. This big improvement, clearly. 24.7. That moves Wallace into P5, so big improvement, but we know he's got more time in him from the mistake that he made at the hairpin, so we definitely know there's more there. And he'll be looking to cool down, get the ERS back up as high as he can before going again for one more attempt, I'd imagine. It's an out lap, actually. Junkie is on a lap. Yep. Oh, free GG. He certainly does if you're one of the other drivers. Down to the final corners again, and Junkie on improvement as well. It's a line 24.2 from Junkie, goes P2. Very close to car C. Is that just a great lap from Junkie, or is it a sign that the track's improved a little bit? Let's go with the idea it's a great lap from Junkie, shall we? So yeah, car C having a little weave over the start-finish line there is an indication he's not going for anything now. It's another cool down lap before then one last big push, and Guinness invalidated. Wallace cooling down, basically Jay's cooling down, and I imagine pretty much everybody's cooling down. Gaz is on his way out on softs. I think that is very, very optimistic indeed. I suppose you can't blame him for giving it a go, but just got a warning there immediately for crossing the white line on pit exit. The track is absolutely nowhere near it, so I'll say that, and one of them stick on pole now. Takes a little bollard with him, and he goes provisional pole, Junkie. So the track is drying. I don't think for a second it's going to dry enough for these guys to use their soft tyres properly, but the track clearly drying as Carsey heads over the line. 22.2, and this could go down as far as the last person across the track, across the line, sorry. Who are you, Walt? Do we know you? Does Micah know you? Well, round the hats in out of the way. Racing J is out of the session. That's in the pit. Sorry, it confused me then because there's a yellow on the track with a red ball in it. But no, Racing J is in the pits, having the tired out. So, okay, Whale 1.2 seconds up. It's heading for around 23.4 plus what he can improve on. 21.3 from car seat. I think that's going to take pole. But as I say, there is the chance that it may not. It is possible that the last driver over the line could take it. Fortunately, as I said, the softs just didn't work for Gaza and Moomin. So Whale for the line then, 22.3. Puts him into P2. Wallace is invalidated. Gooner coming through the final couple of corners. He managed 22.6, puts him into P4. And that is it. So, well, car C takes pole position by almost a full second. And there we have it. So, car C takes P1, pole position. Whale P2, Taylor in 3, the Gooner 4, Wallace 5, Junkie Emperor in 6, Racing J P7. I think he'd be disappointed with that, with a wet qualifying. James in P8, Gaza in 9, Moomin in 10. Both attempted softs at the end, but there was nowhere near enough grip for them, unfortunately. Quick look at those. But there we are. That is it for qualifying then. We've got our starting grid. Okay, guys, so as always, we will be taking a quick break, so usually about 5 minutes. So obviously we'll be back in about 5 for the formation lap and the 50% race around Imola. So please come and join us then. Grab yourselves a quick drink or whatever, and be back for that. See you in a moment. Right, guys, back with you. Let's get some details up. Right, who's using what tyres? Car seat, Whale, Taylor, all starting on the hards, then Daguna's on the mediums, Wallace on the hards, Junkie on the mediums. It's never that easy to know exactly which tyre will be the winner, but I experienced the Imola is partial to a safety car or 2 or 3. If there's only the one safety car, the advantage can very quickly swing to the guys that start on the medium tyres, who can pit to hards. And the history of WAOF1 shows they don't generally have many safety cars, so we'll see how we go, but difficult to know exactly. So ready to go. Just Taylor and Oozer has been disqualified for missing their grid slots. Oh, damn, Racing J. Okay. Racing J had a 5-place grid place penalty. I didn't know that. He's starting in P12. He qualified 7th. And the lights go out, and away we go. Whale flies off the line. This was on board. I wanted to be on board actually with the lobby host. Definitely got an incredible start. Car seat manages to hold on to P2. One driver is off. There's a couple of spinners as well. James, Solex have both had spins. Looks to me like Oozers is recovering from something. Maybe he was the car that took to the escape. It looks to me, looking at these guys, I can't see any clear damage, so hopefully nothing too bad's occurred as Wallace runs off track, but comes back on, rejoins the fray. So allowed Junkie Emperor to get ahead. So maybe a bit of argy-bargy at the start, but nothing too bad so far. Cool by the pool, something's occurred. He's round. He's the first one to spin on the right-hander as Davey leaves the session. See if I can invite him back. And get Davey back in as quick as possible. So this is the view from Daguna at the moment, currently set in P3. C car seat and well ahead. Got a battle going on there between Racing J and Reed. Who thought they'd be battling for P10 at this point? But that's what it is. That's what the rain can do sometimes. And in qualifying. So I imagine as Moomin and Meatbro go side by side for the chicane. That's very, very tight through there. I didn't see. Oh well, I was just about to say I didn't see him make contact, but it was definitely contact there. It looked like Moomin turned in to Meatbro, but promise you as a steward, you never take one POV. As which Meatbro nips past him there. So has Moomin got some damage? Yeah, I'm just saying, this is a steward. You never take one POV. You should always get as many POVs as you can when looking at an incident, because it's no, well, honestly, the amount of times you think you know what's happened, and then you see the other driver's POV, and it actually turns out it's completely different to what you thought. It's incredible. So Gaza gets past Wallace for a P6. Nice work there. There is a battle for the lead. There was a position change there for a moment. Unless it was the Gooner. Of course, it's on the medium tyres, so perhaps he was having a look at car seat. This is our first time going through down towards turn 1 with DRS. Car seat is through into the lead. Well, goes very close to the back of car seat, and Well's off. Well, misses turn 1. And that's hurt him and drops him to P5. Wallace got back ahead of Gaza. Racing J's just nipped past Gaza. Oh, and Racing J spins. No contact there. That was a spin on his own, from what I could see. The contact was very light, so hopefully Gaza's not. Well, hopefully neither driver's sustained any damage from it. But, we said earlier, Imola loves to make drivers spin, and it is certainly doing that so far. Multiple spinners already. So, Wallace picks up a penalty, and the operator has as well. Oh, and Davey has as well. I didn't actually check. Is Davey back with us? Yeah, he is. Excellent. Okay. And Carsey, now he has the lead, is opening up a lead. 1.7 seconds already, and this could be, hate to say it, but this could be the last they see of him. Because it's Reed now up into P6. Doing a grand job so far. And hopefully oh, was that Well? Was it Well? No, it wasn't Well. Who was that then? There was definitely a car off track, but I can't. Nobody appears to have actually dropped down any positions, so was it maybe called by the pool? He's a lap down. Oh, and Taylor's the latest to pick up a penalty, and he's at P3 at the moment. Oh. Let's go down to Meat Brawl, who's onto the back of Wallace now. This is part of the reason I'm not a massive fan of Imola. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not I don't like the track very much as a driver. It's fine as a commentator. It can actually be quite fun as a commentator, but as a driver, I don't like it. But the main reason for that is the long run down to turn 1 is obviously your best overtaking opportunity, but it's almost your only overtaking opportunity around Imola. There's not many. And any other than the run down to turn 1 are pretty dodgy at the best of times than any of the other opportunities. So Wallace obviously just ran a bit wide there, and Meat Brawl took advantage at the inside. So Meat Brawl into 7th, Wallace 8th. So yeah, but what that ends up doing is drivers do, because the straight is the opportunity for the overtakes, they do set up maybe a lower downforce around here than you really should, and that can obviously make you vulnerable to a spin through the rest of the lap. Oh, Wales seemed to get a bit out of shape there. Shape, or whether he was just moving out well, I don't know. But looks like he was a little bit out of shape. Slightly at the pit wall, maybe. He's got his end plate, so even if he did, it's not caused any damage as such, so it's okay. But that means then that Reed is now up into P5, and he is immediately onto the back of Junkie Emperor. Reed is on an absolute mission at the moment. He's not only flying towards a podium, he's also flying towards my driver of the day at the moment. Obviously, it's very early doors. I'm not making a decision on driver of the day yet, but I think he would be top of the list so far. As Moomin now, the latest get past Wallace. I don't know if Wallace has got any damage. Seems to be dropping down the order gradually. Okay. It looks like Gaz is down in P10, so I can only assume then he was the one that I must have caught off track at one point earlier on and dropped down. Shout out for Legoland, by the way. He's up 8 places. Let's have a look at that, actually. The position changes. So, Legoland up 8 places as Wallace and Moomin battle again. Moomin holds the place. In fact, Wallace is going to lose out to Gaza, but looks to it as well. So Gaza now up to P9. Wallace down to 10. Sector 3 yellow. That looks to be Davey. So, yeah, in terms of position changes then, Reed's up 7. But yeah, shout out to Legoland, who's up 8 places so far. Great start to the race. James down 7. He's the biggest. Well, him and Cool by the Pool are both down 7, so they're the biggest losers since the start so far. Wallace down 5. Whale down 4. Reed then has gotten ahead of Junkie into P4, and I think he might just about be a little too far away from Taylor down into turn 1 here. So effectively with Taylor's penalty, Reed's already into a podium position here. It's absolutely monumental drive so far. Sector 3 yellow. Well, it says Sector 3 yellow. I'm looking at Sector 3 and there ain't no yellow down there. Oh yes there was, sorry, it was on the penultimate corner. I think it was operator, but I'm not sure. Good opportunity here to ride with Reed as he looks to set up the opportunity on the pit straight by staying close enough to Taylor. There he goes then, and he is going to go at the inside. As you can see, done it well, way before the braking zone, so nicely done from Reed. Up into P3, so already into a podium position after just not, well, yeah, on lap 10, so after 9 laps. And something tells me, no offense to Daguna, but something tells me he's not going to take too long to close the gap to Daguna as well. But we'll see how he gets on. But Daguna actually may end up getting out his way because Daguna's on the mediums, and I don't think the mediums will be doing too many more laps. So, we've got a spinner in Sector 1. That's Solex who spun it. But yeah, just look at the laps. So they will have done 10 laps at the end of this lap, and I don't think they're going to be doing more than about 13 or 14. Shouldn't think. Taylor's pretty close to Reed here. He may get an opportunity back. He's going to, isn't he? He's definitely going to. Is he? Yeah. This might actually be into the corner and then maybe side by side. No, Taylor decides it's not worth the risk. One yellow. Oh, Wallace. I think Wallace is dropping. Sorry, I just moved off. Why did I move off of that then? Taylor's ended up off track. Thought something happened. He's restarted again. He's P8. But at the same time, oh, Wallace and Gaza. Is that just coincidental? There's quite a gap between them, so I don't know whether that was just coincidental that they both span at the same place rather than contact, because there was quite a gap between them where they both ended up, so I think that may well have just been coincidental, guys, but it's not helping them. They've been seeing a lot of each other today, haven't they, in there? The races moment have been going downhill, but so I was just thinking there for a moment that Cool by the Pool was not with us, but of course he's a lap down, so he's being lapped. He's or unlapping himself. He might have been there actually, but yeah, he's so he ghosts when a car's coming up to lap him. So he is with us. It's just so just looking through the gaps here, and at the moment this is the only one that's within a second. So this is Whale and Reed. So Whale has followed Reed through. Meatball's behind that as well. But, you've got to give it to Whale, since he had that spin from, well, technically from P2 after Carsey got him past him, or not spin so much. He missed turn 1. Into the pits is the Gooner. So yeah, I didn't think they were going to be going too much longer. I think it is about sort of 12 laps on mediums, 20 on hards. The game generally expects you to do. So the Gooner takes his stop. And I think, yeah, so I don't think any of the medium drivers will do too many more laps. I think maybe either the end of this lap or the end of lap 14 we should see the rest of them in. It's just, it could be worth just pushing out a couple of laps just to, well, if there was to be a safety car, you don't want to have already made your stop. So let's go back. Actually, now Racing J's getting close to Taylor. Guys, you may have noticed, I don't know if you can see it, but it's just come up battery's low, so I'm just going to quickly change my controller batteries a moment. Just give me a second. Right, okay, back, and our next medium tyre pitter is coming in. Junkie's in. And it's Jay maybe, an opportunity coming up. Let's get past Taylor. Let's go to the outside for turn 1. And he's far enough ahead to have the rights to the corner. There's Cool by the Pool has left the session. He's out, Cool by the Pool. I don't know whether he retired in the pits or what. That must have happened when I was changing my batteries, so anyway. Right, so what happened with the pit stops there then? So, well, they come out next to each other. So, yeah, Daguna's gone through, so he's, as you'd have expected, held the lead over Junkie. But Junkie only 3.5 seconds behind him at the moment. He's still heating his tyres at Junkie, so that gap is going to grow a bit. Now's where those two have got to try and put the work in and catch up a bit, in a sense of making time up on the guys that are out on the worn hard tyres now. Because they've still got quite a few laps to do. But I can promise you that when the hard tyre drivers pit, as Meatborough gets passed well for P3, yeah, when these hard tyre drivers pit and go to mediums, they're going to be exceptionally fast. So just bear that in mind. But that's Baz into the pits. Yeah, so our two rivals from the interview earlier on, James named Baz as his rival. He's are pretty close on track. Hello, Mark. Sorry, I hadn't looked at my comments at all. So, yeah, not too bad, Mark. Thank you. Probably well behind. Oh, you've really got it out for those two tonight, and I understand you've been talking to them as well. So, I did double check with Carsey. I seem to remember you from before, but as you knew Carsey's actual name, I kind of thought you must know him. But I did double check with Carsey in the break. I didn't just have a somewhat random person on abusing him. As Mason J was not going to leave the room there for Taylor. Come round towards the second chicane. I think it's turn 4 and 5. It might be 5 and 6. It's, oh, Solex picks up 10 seconds for exceeding track limits, and he is a lap down, I believe, Solex, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone off to let somebody through and picked up a 10-second penalty for it. If that is the case, he should be able to get that removed from the stewards. Jay picks up 3 seconds. It is an easy track to pick up corner cutting penalties on, to be honest. It's very easy around here. Oh, and Meatball sped into the pit lane on pit entry. That won't help him. That's a 5 seconds added to his race time. And that's an early stop to go to mediums for Meatball. That's early. So, laps. He's done 16 laps on mediums, which means he's going to do hards, which means he's going to do 16 on mediums. It's not ideal. I know in last year's game you can make the mediums last so long around here. I'm not sure about this year's game, but any little battles going on. These two are still pretty close. It looks like Racing J's beginning to get away. So, normally as we lose Solex, where is that? I think that is in the pits actually. So Solex retires from the race in the pits. So I think what Meatball may have done here is look to pit early and get a time advantage on the guys around him by doing that. He will make up a lot of time if they stay out at all. So Reed's in. Reed's pitting. So I can only assume that's a reaction to Meatball. And Carsey picks up a penalty. But that takes Carsey out of contention for driver of the day. Nobody with a penalty picks up driver of the day. So It's always my role is you must be penalty free to get my driver of the day, but in this league, my driver of the day is actually worth a point, so it really is a rule in this league. Oh, goodness me, just out the pits. That maybe looks at my initial thoughts is just out the pits. Maybe it would have been better just to ease off the accelerator a little bit, but I don't know. As I said, it's always worth looking at any POVs you get of these things. Carty is in from the lead then, and it's going to be absolutely cruising the victory. Ironically, that was his teammate ahead of him. He actually got held up a little bit there in the pits. So, where's Wells come in? He could have actually taken the lead of the race for a bit longer. He led the race earlier on. He could have retaken it for a bit. But, because he's pitted same lap. That won't be the case. Now, where is the Gooner then? That's somebody to take a look at. James into the pits as well. Right, the Gooner's gone all the way through up to P4. Now Wells come out behind him, but he's only a couple of seconds behind. He's got to get the mediums up to temperature, so that won't take very long. And Reed just about gets past Whale. And that might surprise Well a little bit. He probably isn't aware that Reed's had a little bit of a spin, and I imagine Well will be thinking, how on earth did I get out ahead of you? It's yeah, that's why. So to regain his, I think it'd be a well-earned P2 today for Reed. He's got some work to do, but the one thing really in his advantage at the moment is that he's penalty-free. So I do believe he can still do that. So what else we got? Oh, what's going on there? That was Carty getting past Racing J to retake the lead of the race. Can't imagine Racing J would have been putting up too much of a battle there. As Meat Brill sets fastest lap of the race, immediately beaten by Reed. Incoming 3 seconds from Michael. Another one? Or was that just delayed from the first one? So, sorry, let's go down to Reed then, who's got Whale right on the back of him. He's got the Gooner on the front of him. Gooner on the front of him. Whale's on the back of him. I think they're pretty much leading up to an overtake here on the main straight. He seemed to struggle a little bit to get on the power there. Actually going to be vulnerable here? No. Doesn't look like it. Here we go then. It's going to be done. It's going to be done so far before the braking zone. I'd imagine there's a chance Wells going to come through as well. It's a horrible feeling when you're in Daguna's position there. There's just nothing you can do whatsoever. But I think sensible from Daguna. There wasn't really any point in him fighting that. So he was the first pitter. Let's go to hards. And 3 in the pits at the moment. Uzers, Gaza, Wallace all in the pits. As Uzers exits in P12. Gaza exits P13. And Wallace will exit in P14. The car behind him is some way behind, so he's going to be comfortably in P14. And they will look to see if they can improve their fortunes in this race before the end. And they should be super quick, those guys now. They've all three have gone to medium tyres, so fresh medium tyres. So yeah, this movement gets ahead of the Gunner. Now the Gunner's in a position where the car behind him is actually on very similar hard tyres, just one lap younger hard tyres. So he's a bit more comfortable now, although Taylor will be fast approaching Junkie as well, so how long that will be the case for, I don't know, but see. So again, just looking down the timings there, it's still just a little bit low on actual battles at the moment. But things are developing all the way through the field, to be honest. With the medium runners catching the hard tyre guys and that. So Whale at the moment trying to hang on to Reed's coattails. Which is obviously never going to be easy. And, I don't want to bring out the penalties yet, it's a bit early on. We'll look to bring out the penalties around about lap 30. But at the moment, I'd rather just think that anybody with penalties are all battling each other genuine position-wise. And Racing J finally enters the pits from P2 as Meekborough goes through and takes P2. Reed will get back onto the podium. There he goes. Whale goes through. Moman's going to go through. And Daguna's going to go through. Junkie might be close. There's Racing J. It's going to be just on the right. It's just coming out of there, look. So Junkie goes through. Taylor does go through. But look, Racing J's picked it to sauce. So the only way he's going to be going is, at least momentarily, is forward. And I would imagine there may be an emphasis on taking a bonus point for fastest lap as well. Yeah, just looking through the top guys, nobody has a gap where they can pit. Apart from the two guys at the very back, so Operator and Davey perhaps could give it a go later on. But other than that, nobody's got a gap. And with the length for the pit stop here, it looks to me like everybody would lose multiple places. So I don't think it's worth anyone other than the two at the very back giving it a go. It is work. I've enjoyed this one. The two retirements have just been because they've retired in the pits, so I'm pleased with this. Let's go to James. And look at this. So James did the pre-qualifying interview with me, and at a point in the moment people are picking their rivals, and James picked Baz as his rival for the season. So these are two rivals head to head. James with a clear tyre advantage, DRS, and here he goes. And ahead of Baz he goes into P10. Oh, nip on. Need to nip over a sec, but that move is done. Let's quickly nip to these guys. So this is Junkie Emperor in the Haas at the front there. Oh, he turns in. Oh, that may need looking at. Oh, that's going to be trouble for Taylor. That was a reset to track. That's an absolute no. That'll be a penalty. Oh, Wallace is out. Is that? Oh, that's a retirement in the pits. Oh, Wallace, would love to see you finish, man. It's not to be tonight. That'll promote Davey and gains an extra place by sticking with it. It's Racing J then up to P7 ahead of Junkie Emperor now. And now he's got the gap ahead of him. So he's got a 6-second gap ahead of him. He's got the clear space. He's just not long across the line. He can go for fastest lap now, surely. I would imagine. Yeah, he's just almost quarter of a second up in sets of 1. Now the fastest lap currently is 1:17.2 from car seat. And oh, he's spun it, Racing J, at a hairpin. Well, that won't be a fastest lap anymore then. Oh well. Yeah, so current fastest lap is 1:17.2 as Racing J's round again. But that'd be because the tyres are lit up, I'd imagine. Right. Let's ruin the fastest lap attempt in a way. And everybody's over a second to the car ahead now, so it's a bit difficult as Davey goes past the pits, picking up that position on Wallace. Oozers has caught to the back of Racing J. Oozers just needs to be a bit careful here as Racing J goes again. Absolutely cut those tyres. Absolutely cut. Can we all agree that Meatball is and can't drive? Not at the moment we can't, no, because he's in P2. Oh, Reed's picked up a penalty. When did that happen? I can't give him driver the day now because he's picked up a penalty. Oozers in the way, goes past. Gaza catching on to the back of Oozers, but Oozers doing very well. Unfortunately, the two guys you want to give crap to are first and second. It's you know, it's not really going your way, mate, on this. More words that you're having. So I was expecting a little battle to come up then. I don't watch. Yeah, just come up. Yeah, I was expecting a little battle to come up between these two, but for whatever reason, Gaza just had a little moment. We heard James in his interview before saying top 10 is always going to be a challenge in this league, so with the pace of the drivers, so he's there at the moment. He's in P9 at the moment and creating a gap still to Baz behind him. So there's Carsey. I think just stuck in a fastest lap for the fun of it, really. He had absolutely no reason to do that. But, he was already holding the fastest lap, but he's improved it by 3 tenths. This is Taylor catching the back of Junkie Emperor, and there is a car ahead, but that must be Davey. So McLaren, it can't be Moomin, as Taylor goes to the inside, then a Junkie, and a move done before the braking zone. So that's Taylor into P7, but Junkie is penalty free, so a potential opportunity for Junkie to get that place back if he can stay. Well, at the moment it'd be a case of trying to stay on the DRS if he can. This car to catch him is going to be ghosted. And good etiquette there from Davey just to move out the way. He is a back marker, so Racing J is back into the pits. And goes a set of mediums. So again, staying idea, you would think he's going to. You should really have a go at taking the fastest lap off of Carsey, I guess. Cool. Aaron's next to each other on track there. Is that Moomin without a front wing? Has he lost his wing? He has, hasn't he? He's lost his front wing. He's going to have to come into the pits. And that's going to hurt. And that's going to drop him certainly 3 places. 1, 2, 4 places even. I think Hoosers get past him. Bear in mind it's a front wing change as well, so it's going to take about an extra 5 seconds. It's already a long stop. So these two, surely, Gazaden has gotten past Hoosers, but these two surely will gain this place. Obviously, Imoma's going to come out on fresh soft tyres, brand new wing, as Hoosers on the outside of Gaza. Very nicely done between the two of them. Gaza does retain the position, but nicely done from the two drivers. Good racing. So they're moving. Well, I thought you might be able to catch these two a bit later on, but he is 10 seconds down. It's gonna have to be some catch. But Hoosers, remember, still penalty free. So Hoosers could still take the place off Gaza, because Gaza does have what is actually a very unusual penalty for him. Almost always penalty free, Gaza. So Hoosers will want to try and take advantage of that if we can. Don't want to get into the habit of looking behind him too much, because Moomin will be bearing down on him at an absolute rate of knots once he's got the softs up to a temperature, which he should have actually. Their insets are free, so they should be working pretty well. Talking of Wells, Mike Arwell, our boss man, may be the one that's heading for driver of the day now. I'll double check, but in fact, it's lap 31. Let's get the penalties up. So, right then, so Carsey and Reed both have 3 seconds each. Whale, penalty free. Meatborough has 8 seconds. Daguna, 3 seconds. Taylor's got 6. Lots of yellow flags appearing. Sectors 2 and 3. That's enough for Romeo. That's Reed. That is Reed. Oh, well, might be able to sniff some blood here. Well, he already has, really, because Reed's got the penalty. Can't believe it or not, it's too late now, but it has actually meant... It did actually mean that Carsey now has the gap to be able to pit, but it's too late. It's too late. He hasn't got enough laps to be able to pit. Right, so... Yeah, sorry, so Meatbro has 8 seconds, Daguna 3 seconds, Taylor 6. So I'm not entirely sure what happened to Meatbro. How is he dropped down to P4? Oh, there's been loads going on, I don't know. Ain't got a clue. Taylor's got 6 seconds, Gaz's got 3 for Moomin, 8 for Racing J, 5 for Soklovic, 9 for Operator. Who's that? Yeah, 9 for Operator, 9 for Davey as well. Who's in the P2? That looked to me like Reed allowed him through on the exit of the chicane there. I don't think either of them would be overly impressed with Racing J unlapping himself at that point. That's when they're actually battling each other for P2 on track. You saw other drivers, well, you know, shout out to Davey earlier on, who, when he was being lapped, he just moved over to the side of the road as if his car would have been solid and minded out the way. So still the risk that you could put people off. So, yeah, shout out to Davey for doing that. Remember if we actually made this rule. I think we did, you know. I've got a feeling. This is right on the boss man as well. This is on Whale, and he's the boss man. And I really do think we made this a rule in the league about having to move out of the way for blue flags despite the ghosting. So, Whale's going to be ecstatic with a P2. Sorry, Carsey, my apologies. Carsey crossed the line out about an age ago to win in Imola. So well done, Carsey, on an absolute dominant victory. Whale, superb P2. Reed crosses the line P3, and I think we'll hold on to it. So I think Reed has got the podium. Excellent. So Reed does take a very well-deserved podium. Meatbro on P4, Daguna P5, Taylor just dropped to P7, Junkie moved up to P6, Taylor because of the penalty dropped to 7. James, the man we spoke to earlier on, will be over the moon to pick up a P8. Just goes to show if you crack on with it and just keep your head down, keep yourself out of trouble, you can get decent results for yourself. And so James, brilliant P8. Baz also as well, and a brilliant P9. How well's that little rivalry started? Oh, movement. Unlucky, man. We saw it. Oh, Mark. I'll literally in a chat with him, taking a mick out of him. There, he's their mate. So, yeah, movement. Saw it, buddy. Unlucky. This ain't one of the tracks where you want something like that, is there, mate? Because it's a bloody long pit lane in a way, without having to stick a new front wing on as well. So, well, obviously a massive well done to Carsey on victory and fastest lap, pole position, fastest lap, victory. Anything else? Whale, superb, qualified P2, finished P2, kept it penalty free. I'm pretty sure he is my driver of the day. I'm just having a look. Baz would be another option, I think. Who's just done a great job. Legoland's done a great job as well, just to say. But I think what I'll do is I will give it to Whale. So Whale will get the driver of the day from me. And then the drivers will vote on a driver's driver of the day, but they can't pick the same as me. So they can't pick Whale. So they'll have to separate the rest. Just about get to the bottom of the incidents. There you go. Right, and I'll invite the podium boys in just a moment. I doubt Carsey's even broke a sweat. Right, Whale, let's get you in. And where'd he gone? Carsey. And Reed, where's Reed? Reed. He's already gone. Yeah, I am as well. There he is, I got him. There we go. Here he is. Excellent. Right, okay, if you guys can include your audio, please.
Yeah, done.
Awesome. Okay, if you guys can. Oh, here we go. I can hear myself now.
Can you hear me, Helen?
Yeah, really excellent.
Yeah.
If you included your audio, mate.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it comes to you first, then. P3. From where you ended up on the grid. It's a great result, really. It was looking like it would be a P2 at one point, but things happen, and you know, it's turned out to be a P3, which is still from where you qualified. Is a great result. So well done. Talk us through it, mate.
It was pretty messy, I think. Made a good start. It's pretty blurry, to be honest. But I think at some stage, maybe around lap 10 or something like that, I found myself in P2, and then trying to avoid the penalties. I think I spun like somewhere around the middle of middle of the race and cost me quite a bit, which I think was before I pitted, and then come out of the pits, and then I spun again, of course. I think it was in the lap 30 or something. So probably cost myself about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So really, with a couple of mistakes like that, I'm very happy to get a P3. Really, I know it should have been P2, but yeah, happy enough, mate. I think that's about it. Well done to Wheel for being there to take the position, and well done to Carsey. That was some drive as well. So yeah, mate, happy enough. Happy enough.
Yeah. So what did happen in qualifying, mate? Was it just a case that the rain came in Q2? Was it just that you
Well,
didn't get a good enough first lap in? Or?
Well, I think Carsey's right when he said that. Why were guys so slow going out of the pits? Of course, I was one of those guys, so that was my fault to begin with. And then, yeah, probably a lack of experience with those kind of situations in the wet and how you should play that out. I would say is a big problem. And then, yeah, I was too close to wheel, obviously, but I wasn't quite sure what to do because I could see there was bits of rain, so I knew I had to like go as hard as I could go to get the best lap of the soft. So I was up his backside and thought, right, I'm not going to take his lap, so I just sacrificed my own. Was basically how I saw it, and that's why I ended up P12.
Right.
But probably with a bit more experience, somebody with a bit more experience might have done a better job of that. So it's probably partly my fault, I would have thought.
Okay. Well, these things happen, but it's still a great recovery, mate, and a brilliant podium at the end of it all.
Thank you,
So, that's a great racing, provided us plenty of overtakes as well. So, nicely done.
Cheers.
Um,
Thank you, mate, as always. Cheers.
always, no worries. Mr. Whale, boss man, coming to you. Guess what, Whale?
Hello.
You are my driver of the day. So congratulations.
Get in.
Well, you were penalty free. I must admit, Reed was probably going to be until he picked up a penalty. But I think overall there are some others that deserve it as well, by the way. So hopefully at least one of those will pick up the driver's one. Hopefully. But from your point of view, then, great qualifying. Went brilliantly well. Great start. You absolutely flew off the line. Like that host advantage is clearly true.
It's lovely. It's lovely. I love it.
Absolutely launched.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all great.
That
was all great. Trying to keep
to be honest. And then he got past, and I nearly drove into him. So I went straight across the chicane.
You did.
Lost a few places there, and then brought back up to second somehow. Should have been third or fourth, really, but everyone just kept making mistakes in front, behind. From what I've heard, anyway.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. To be fair, there was a lot of individual mistakes being made out there. You mentioned one of your own as well, going across the chicane after Carsey got past. So what happened there? Was that just did Carsey going past? You just take your eye off your braking?
Yeah, I just got nervous. Don't know really.
Carsey was too close to me. I got nervous.
Oh dear.
No, but no, fair play, man.
Yeah, other than that,
fair play, man. P2.
Yeah.
Like
that.
Okay, Carsey. You won. I doubt you've even broke a sweat, have you?
I'm pretty tired. A full race with no safety car, it's tiring no matter what.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, tell us about it. Is there much to tell us? You took pole by a second. Despite the conditions, you lost the lead at the start of the race, but you got it back pretty quickly. And I think I said at that point that's probably the last we'll see of him.
The pole lap, it's one of my best qualifying laps I think I've probably ever hit. Just obviously the conditions are changing, slowly getting drier and then in the wet, and I just have to basically guess braking points with no line when they're changing every second. And I just nailed everything, so I'm really, really happy with that qualifying lap. It was one of my best.
Nice.
And I've seen host advantage before, but Whale actually started Wales started driving before my lights went out. They were still on and Whale had gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, surely as a drive-through. But
Nah.
no. So I've never seen anything like that. But yeah, once I overtook Whale, I blinked and he was nowhere to be seen anymore, and I had no idea what happened. I was like, did I do something wrong there? But I don't think I did.
No, you didn't.
I think,
No, you didn't. No.
yeah, and yeah, then after that, I was just because every race I've done at Imola, I've been stuck behind the DRS train and haven't been able to actually see what I could do. So I really enjoyed actually trying to show my pace, and I could have got that 3 second remove, but in lap 31 I got a warning, and then I knew even if I got that one warning removed that I shouldn't have got, then I would have still had 3 seconds. So I was quite annoyed about that, but room for improvement. But I'm happy with it at the end of the day.
Yeah. So that sums it up pretty well. So yeah, it's well, it's that time of the week where I say to you, where are we next week? Because I don't know. I can't
I
remember.
can't wait for next week. I cannot
Oh, I
wait.
do actually. I do know. We're at Monaco.
Yeah.
We're at Monaco.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's going to be great. Yeah, looking forward to that because it's always Monaco's always great when you're not the one doing it. So yeah, I guess what you lot sweat around there. Don't matter if you win by 30 seconds at their car seat because that Monaco.
I think if anyone doesn't crash, they're going to win by 30 seconds.
Yeah, 39 laps of Monaco, you will be sweating your ass off because yeah, it's hard. Anyway, as always, a massive thank you to everybody that's watched live with me and kept me entertained, and everybody that watches the stream back at a later point. Really appreciate it. We'll be back next week then, so 8 p.m. next Tuesday for Monaco, full quali 50% race. Are you adding a sprint in there as well? Well,
What was that, sorry?
did you want to do a sprint as well while we were there?
Nah, I think we're all right.
No, all right then. So yeah, just the full quali 50% race. We'll see you then. For myself, guys, I'll be live again on Friday. So I'll see you then. But other than that, I'm racing the next 2 nights. So that's it. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks to everyone. See you again soon. Good night. Have a nice rest of the week.
Good night. Good night.